Okay, we are now recording. This is Ronan Hart with the Samuel Proctor Oral History Program on July 19th, 2022. I'm talking to Aalia Villafañe and her family. So if each of you could tell us your first and last name and where each of you are from.
Okay, my name is Aalia Villafañe. I'm from Colombia. I'm currently living here in Miami, Florida.
And my name is Andres Gregory. I'm also originally born in Colombia, and we're currently living in Miami, Florida.
Hi, I'm Miranda Gregory. My parents are Colombian, but I was born and raised here in Miami, Florida.
Okay, awesome. So maybe you could tell me a little bit more about your family, how long you've lived in Miami, maybe what you think about the community that you live in, what you do for work, anything like that.
Okay, now I have a part-time and a housewife. I had my family, my oldest child, he's in the airports in California, and Miranda, she's in college out of the state.
Okay.
And myself, we've been here for many years. Our sons, we had 3 sons, and they were born here in Miami. And I work as a driver, and that's it. I mean, we've been here many, many years in Miami. We love to live here.
Mm-hmm. So could you tell me about how your child became a victim of police brutality? Maybe a little bit about that child.
Okay, May 2012, on May 28, 2012, Sebastian was shot by a Miami-Dade police officer, Luis Manuel Perez, while he was walking home. The officer shot a total of 9 times, hitting Sebastian's back 7 times while Sebastian was on the ground. He was 16 years old at that time.
Yeah, my brother, he was left paralyzed from the waist down. He had a severe health problems. He had mental health problems such as depression, chronic pain that was always gonna, be there. He had bowel dysfunction and genital dysfunction too. So like everything for him changed after that accident.
Yeah, that's shooting.
And that was when he was 16 years old. He was very young.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Has there been any justice for this incident?
No, we went to court in 2018 and we lost the case against the city and the officer. And the system failed Sebastian.
I mean, the shooting happened in 2020 and 2012, sorry. And imagine we went to court in 2018, 6 years after the shooting happened, after the Sebastian is no longer with us, that happened in 2016, and we went to court in 2018 for like 3 weeks, and then everything, happened there, and we lost the case.
We lost the case.
Police is always, they don't lose, they always win.
Mm-hmm. So no one has been held accountable for this in any way?
No one.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't find justice for Sebastian. And still we fighting for justice.
Mm-hmm. So between the incident in 2012 and the process since then in the court case, why has all of it been so difficult?
because the system always try to defend himself. Sebastian was the bad guy, you know, they trying to see Sebastian like a gang member, that he always wearing black, and he was always the bad person. The officer never was responsible what they happened. They always said that he was in fear for his life, and that's why he shot Sebastian in the back. Imagine, Sebastian had like 4 bullets in his back, in the body.
Yeah, there was like a lot of, what's the word? There was like a lot of stigmatization in the court just because of like his past and the way he would dress. Like he would wear all black just because that's how he was. And the officer claimed that he feared for his life when he knew Sebastian before. He knew that he was 16 years old and stuff. Like he knew he would walk around that night. Like that was just like what he would like to do to like take his mind off things. And we're talking about an officer who was like 6'7", like in height. And my brother, like when he shot him, he was on the ground and he was claiming that he feared for his life when really like there wasn't like anything to fear when you're an officer with a gun and my brother's on the ground, you know, helpless.
With nothing, no guns, nothing.
Yeah, it sounds like the story doesn't make any sense at all. Like that was just not true. So how has the shooting in 2012 impacted your family kind of as a whole?
Everything's changed. Everything's changed. We are not the same family. Sebastian passed on 2016. Sebastian died by suicide after 4 years of chronic pain, after a lot of medical issues, and our lives, they are not the same. We supposed to be 5, now we are 4. I miss him every single day. Every single day. It's like living with pain that we can count. We can, you know, enjoy his presence. Right now, he's not here anymore with us in our daily basics. I don't know if you want to say something.
Well, we just learned how, like, I feel like this experience had happened for us to learn how, like, in shambles the justice system is, because before, like, we had some hope for it. Like, as I grew up, like, I really thought, our US justice system was righteous, was fair. And I realized as I grew up what happened to my brothers, seeing how my family was affected, that it's not righteous and fair. It's really just broken. And we had to learn it the hard way, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So is there any message that you want everyone else to hear and listen to about your experience about the justice system or about police as a whole?
Well, like, I guess the first thing that we would want to like show people, well, we want to, like, our top priorities to like educate people, I guess, with our story, with what we experience. Like I said before, we want to show people that in reality, our justice system is not righteous or fair. It's just really broken, and it has been broken for many years. And we just want to shed some light into that. Because our story really just serves as an example of how the justice system, like, of the cruelty the justice system imposes on victims of police brutality and stuff. And we just want to show people that, yeah, we need to fix it. We need to do something, because this cannot go on forever.
And hug your family members, your child, because maybe they are here right now, and maybe the next day they are not here, you know, anymore.
No, I would say that after what happened to us and and everything that is, happened. I will say always, hug your children and hug your family members, because I mean, once you walk out of the door, you don't know what can happen, and especially here. I mean, this happened just. Sebastian was walking home. He was walking around. He was walking, around the block, and who will believe it that he was gonna get shot on the back, and he didn't die that day. He survived the shooting. I don't know. He survived it. I mean, it's not a lot of people that survive 7 shots in the back, and he survived. And then after 4 years,
They couldn't take it anymore.
he couldn't take it anymore. Bro, imagine we suffered from the day we had the shooting. We suffered 4 years dealing with all these 4 or 5 years dealing with all these problems, issues within medical. Plus, we lost him, and also we lost the case. I mean, nothing was served, no justice. I mean, it was really, 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 really extremely sad and difficult. And it's gonna be difficult for the rest of our life, because we're gonna have to live with this. This is not you had a pain and you cover it out, or you take a medicine, it's gone. No, this is a pain forever.
You had to live with this injustice.
I can't begin to imagine how difficult that all is. Thank you for sharing that. That's all of the questions I meant to ask, but I do want to ask something else. Basically, how would you like Sebastian to be remembered?
Wow. Like the way he was, the way he really was, not the way the assistant tried to see him. That is, it wasn't true. Because Sebastian was a very family kid, family kid, and healthy and happy and smart. That's the way everyone's friends, family, the community remembers Sebastian.
Yeah. And they portrayed him as a villain. And we just want people to remember him as a 16-year-old boy who, he was just starting off life, and his life was cut off too short.
And this officer can do many different things to help my son to get back home. Because they want to, all the officers, they say they want to go get back home. Sebastian also wants, get home. And the officer didn't do anything to save my son's life.
To make a difference.
To make a difference.
He couldn't do many things. He couldn't, because we saw that on the case. He couldn't do many different things, and to avoid that shooting,
To avoid that shooting.
And he decided to shoot.
Okay.
Yeah, that's very powerful here. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you all again. This is the first one of these interviews that I've conducted, and I'm hopeful that they. Sorry?
Thank you.
Of course, I'm happy to be doing this. I'm hopeful. I feel like this project can start to make a difference for, to try and get justice for you all, for other family members of victims of police violence, and just make a difference as a whole. So thank you all again. Thank you for doing this.
Yes, and thank you for the opportunity. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.